60,000 number decreased between 1999 and 2008. And again, to get a sense of that, this is in a county where the population is growing. Our workforce is actually shrinking. Some income trends. It's no accident that because of this decline in employment and Macomb County, its basic assets and wealth come out of the work that people do. That personal income has declined. The income gap also between counties, between Macomb and Oakland counties, continues to rise, both in median household income and median family income. This is what I was referring to before. For a number of years, the county has actually grown in population, and that shift, though, began in 2006, 2005 to see that we have negative numbers coming both from domestic migration, but we still have positive numbers from overseas migration. Again, a very important source of future growth, that this county still attracts people from other countries to it. The county, one way of looking at the downturn is to look at what the agencies are serving, and this is both the caseload of the Family Independence Agency, or the Michigan Human Services now it's called. The First Work program is run by the Workforce Board, but look at the numbers of clients served by Michigan Works, particularly that last cell for 2009. 117,000 people. The entire private workforce in Macomb County is 338,000 people. So that's almost a third of the workforce was somehow served by our Workforce Development Board. Food stamp recipients, again, continue to rise. Frank Taylor's here from his food distribution program, serves more and more households. So what we're seeing is all the dimensions of significant economic hardship for people. Our second most important industry, which is new housing construction, again, came to a big halt right at the period right before the Great Recession, but continues to be extremely anemic. This is new construction and comparison between various counties. Residential sales, again, continue to fall. However, two kind of important small data points which indicate the bottoming out. First, Detroit metro area prices actually rose 0.2% between September and October, and if that trend continues, we'll see a leveling off of housing prices. And most importantly, in Macomb County, the number of non-foreclosed sales actually outpaced the foreclosed sales for the first time in December 2008. So there are signs that the housing market is going to stabilize, but unfortunately at a much lower rate than people are certainly used to. Foreclosures still are important, but Michigan has dropped. It used to be 5th in the nation in foreclosures, has now dropped to 8th. Again, our housing market is different than the housing market of most other parts of the country. Whereas most other parts of the country are faced with a housing decline because of the use of subprime and other instruments which encourage lots of people to buy houses that they could not afford, and then the contraction occurs, and of course states like Nevada and Arizona and Florida are in the forefront of that. Our housing market is simply a basis of supply and demand. That is, that if there's an oversupply of housing, there's more houses on the market that can be sold, and the price continues to fall. But it is now, I think, starting to, again, to bottom out. So we're doing better in that area. Now, that's the reality today. However, there's some really important bright spots, and that's what I want to talk a little bit about now. First, we've seen some significant growth in defense manufacturing. This is real. There are new companies coming to Macomb County. The existence of TARDAC and TANCOM play a significant role in the future development of this county, and we're starting to see that growth. Healthcare, again, on a sector which we've all seen the growth of, but we'll go over a few, look at some data which indicates the real potential for healthcare is yet to be realized in this county. Certainly, there have been some very specific countywide efforts. The opening of the Macomb OU incubator in Sterling Heights has played a major role in developing new businesses in the county. Navstar Defense is co-locating its engineering facility at that incubator. The incubator has expanded as a second building, which is opening up in Sterling Heights. So we started to see some real growth. We've also won some major victories, or in the process of winning some major victories. I think because of the efforts of our city manager and economic development person, Luke Bonner from Sterling Heights, the Sterling Heights Assembly Plant is, which was scheduled to be closed, looks like we're getting close. Can't say for sure, but looks like will remain open for at least a couple more years. And if Chrysler buys back the facility, there will be, I think, some real potential growth for that plant. The City of Warren has done some very innovative things. The partnership, which is going to expand green home renovations and green roof construction agreements, both with the Workforce Board and the college participating, shows some real interest in green construction and manufacturing, and that's an exciting new development. So we're starting to see some changes. Let's talk a little bit more about defense, because I think it tends to get underrated, but it is very significant. The Detroit metropolitan area will receive about $5.7 billion in defense contracts, up from $5.2 in 2009. Our Michigan PTAC, the procurement center, which is located at Macomb College, brings in about $131 million to local companies, and it's created 2,600 jobs in the county in the last year. The expansion of both TARDAC and TANCOM, TARDAC is the research arm of TANCOM, creates over 600 new jobs, bringing in from the Rock Island Arsenal. Selfridge Air Force Base is adding a Homeland Security Center. And of course, on the private side, both BAE Systems building a new facility in Sterling Heights, and General Dynamic creating a new military vehicle testing center in Sterling Heights. Both of those are going to play significant roles. In healthcare, healthcare has been a very important part of the Detroit metro growth area. In Southeast Michigan, 300,000 individuals were employed in healthcare. 2 decades later, that's grown to 500,000. Between the period of 2004 and 2008, there's been over 5.3 million square feet added. For Macomb County, what this has meant is a Macomb County healthcare employment grew by 25% in the last decade. About 44,000 jobs, direct and indirect, are related to healthcare. And it's been a very balanced growth. Healthcare has been distributed from hospitals, residential care facilities, physician offices, laboratories, etc. To give you a sense of that future, these are the estimates of people, of the market in Macomb County in the different sectors of healthcare. Now, you see two disturbing things. One, the amount of people with private insurance actually declining by about 15%, and the growth of the uninsured and individuals who are on Medicaid is significant. Both these kinds of figures underscore some of the debate that's going on now around healthcare or the healthcare bill. If healthcare reform comes into effect, it changes this equation considerably for those people, particularly who are uninsured, and those people who have growth in Medicaid. And it underlies the future. And that future is in two ways. One, the growth of the market. If you have about 100,000 more residents into the medical system, and with some strong probability of some pent-up demand, that's going to cause more expansion. Second, we have opening up, again, next month, the Michigan State University Osteopathic Medical School. Part of its Detroit branch is at Macomb. We have 50 at our center campus. We have 50 students currently in residence. There's a strong possibility that that's going to grow not only with students, but as a research part of the medical community. So the kinds of work being done by a number of people in this room, Barbara Rossman, in working in the community and expanding our health care, I think becomes very, very important. Finally, I want to note another sign of positive change, and this is provided to us with the results